Walking around St. Peter's, I often hear American tour guides saying, Veronica's veil's not here. We should talk about the veil in Montepello. But let me tell you, these two veils are different. The veil of Montepello is what we hear about in the Gospel of John, where it says, on the first day of the week, Mary of Magdala came to the tomb early in the morning, while it was still dark, and saw the stone removed from the tomb. So she ran and went to Simon Peter and to the other disciple whom Jesus loved, that is, St. John, and told them, they have taken the Lord from the tomb, and we don't know where they put him. So Peter and the other disciple went out and came to the tomb. They both ran, but the other disciple ran faster than Peter and arrived at the tomb first. He bent down and saw the burial clothes there, but did not go in. St. John the Beloved knew the habits of Christ. And so when he saw these burial cloths folded, he knew that Jesus had folded them. The shroud was there, but also the veil which covered the dead face of Christ. And this veil is what we find in Montepello. We know that Jesus left an image for us upon the cloth in his resurrection, with his eyes open. But what do we find with the Veil of Veronica? We don't find eyes open. We find a man-God struggling in the Passion. Eyes bloody, face torn. And that is the image we find on the Veil of Veronica. These two images come from us from completely different moments in the life of Christ. And so today, on Passion Sunday, it's the veil during the Passion, the veil with which Veronica wiped the face of Jesus. Jesus, who even in his Passion gave us an image of his face to look on, for soon he would no longer be with us. And how much he knows that we long to look upon his face. Displayed only once a year, on Passion Sunday, the local Church of Rome goes to St. Peter's Basilica to see the Veil of Veronica. And today I take you with me to see this veil in the solemn rites of St. Peter's Basilica on Passion Sunday. Welcome back to Crux Stationalis, the Roman Station Church Network. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and when you're done watching, share it with your family and friends. On this first Sunday of Passion Tide, the Veil of Veronica is displayed in conjunction with the second Vespers of Sunday. That there was a physical image venerated as a Veil of Veronica and displayed in Rome from the 14th century on is clear. But the provenance of this image is uncertain. The old Constantinian Basilica of St. Peter's was the jealous custodian of the Veil of Veronica, and in the papacy of Pope John VII, whose reign was from the years 705 to 708, a chapel known as the Veronica Chapel was built during his reign. It would appear, however, that the Veil of Veronica was in place by the year 1011. When a scribe was identified as keeper of the cloth. Firm records of the veil began only in the year 1199, when two pilgrims, Gerald de Bari and Gervase of Tilbury, made two accounts at different times of a visit to Rome, making direct reference to the existence of the Veil of Veronica. Shortly after that, in the year 1207, the cloth became more prominent when it was publicly processed and displayed by Pope Innocent III, who also granted indulgences to anyone praying before it. This procession with a Veil of Veronica before St. Peter's and the Santo Spirito Hospital became an annual event, and on one such occasion in the year 1300, Pope Boniface VIII, who had it translated to St. Peter's in 1297, was inspired to proclaim the first Jubilee in 1300. During this Jubilee, the Veronica veil was publicly displayed and became one of the Mirabilia Urbis, or wonders of the city, for the pilgrims who visited Rome. For the next 200 years, the veil retained at Old St. Peter's was regarded as the most precious of all Christian relics. There, Pedro Tarfur, a Spanish visitor, in the year 1436, noted, On the right hand is a pillar as high as a small tower, and in it is the Holy Veronica. When it is to be exhibited, an opening is made in the roof of the church, and a wooden chest or cradle is let down, in which are 2 clerics, and when they have descended, the chest or cradle is drawn up, and they with the greatest reverence take out the Veronica, that is, Veronica's veil, and show it to the people, who make concourse there upon the appointed day. It happens often that the worshippers are in danger of their lives, so many are they, and so great is the press. And that is the account of a pilgrim visiting the Veil of Veronica. After the sack of Rome in the year 1527, some writers recorded that the veil had been destroyed. Many artists of the time created reproductions of the Veronica, again suggesting its survival, but in 1616, Pope Paul V prohibited the manufacture of further copies, unless made by a canon of St. Peter's Basilica. In 1629, Pope Urban VIII not only prohibited reproductions of the Veronica from being made, but also ordered the destruction of all existing copies. His edict declared that anyone who had access to a copy must bring it to the Vatican under penalty of excommunication. In the 17th century, the veil was found hidden in a relic chamber built by Bernini into one of the piers supporting the dome of St. Peter's. The Veronica is still displayed each year on the occasion of the Fifth Sunday of Lent, Passion Sunday. In a tradition that dates back to the 17th century, just before Vespers, there is a procession in the Basilica, accompanied to the Litany of Saints. A bell rings and 3 canons of St. Peter's Basilica carry the heavy frame out on the balcony above the statue of St. Veronica holding the veil. The Romans are privileged on this day in which all images are veiled to have one last glance upon the face of Jesus. Thank you for joining us today at St. Peter's on Passion Sunday, exploring the image of the Veil of Veronica.